Hello and welcome. Welcome back to Club Sapphire Merimbula. We're here. It's the final match of 2024-25 Bowls New South Wales Junior State Championships. The shields are all out there. This is what they're playing for. And we're going to see a contest between Tim Thorning from Gunnedah and Harry Conroy from Wagga. They're playing off for the boys under 18 singles title. Great to have your company wherever you're watching around Australia or around the world. The players are just completing their trial ends. So one trial end each, but we've got 4 games in action concurrently. So there's going to be under 15 boys and girls singles, as well as the under 18 girls and boys singles. I'll let you know about all the competitors. But we're here at Club Sapphire for the conclusion of a big 4 days of bowls. A magnificent competition at this absolutely superb facility. Just gone 3:30. The players are almost completed their trial ends. And Lee Stinson has come to grab the hooter and will be underway in just a moment. Nick Hind is my name. It's fantastic to have your company wherever you're watching around Australia or around the world. We've got several fantastic competitions coming to the conclusion. In the boys under 15 singles, we're going to see Josh Potts from Tarrant Point up against Zach Moran from Warilla. Both those players successful in their semi-finals. Josh Potts 21-17 over Tathra's Charlie McCudden. Zach Moran 21-15 over Curry's Cooper Appleby. In the girls under 15 singles, Charlie Cameron knocked over the very impressive Annabelle Teague 21 shots to 15, while Alice Winter got the better of Hannah Salatne from Belrose. They will be your finalists. Zoe Davies and Chanel Shakouch in the girls under 18s. They gave really good accounts of themselves. And it's going to be Tim Thorning to get us underway here against Harrison Conroy. So look forward to bringing you what should be a fantastic game. And we see Timmy Thorning is off to almost the perfect start there. Just slipping past. And both these players, they do have basically the same colour, the same composition, orange Henselite XGs. So we've asked that Harry puts on some dark green stickers, and that should help distinguish between the two bowls. I'll try my very best to make sure that I know what's going on. Marker Travis Moran, he knows he's got his work cut out for him. This should be a fine contest between these two young stars. Harry Conroy, who we saw play an unbelievable game the other night against Jack Barclay from Padstow. And he comes down, he draws the shot, and he's off to a good start. Tim Thorning asking which one is the shot. Hour and 45 minutes is the time limit, or first to 21 shots. Timmy calling for it to hurry. Well, he's done just that. That's going to be in for number 1. And Harry Conroy asking for the position there. Switching hands. This one's just going to slide past. You can see a little trail that Jack down the line would have been really good for him. But you can see there, while we've asked for the players So those dark green they are stickers are the ones of Harry Conroy. Tim Thorning with the orange and gold for Club Gunnedah. Thorning here looking for his third boys junior singles title in a row. He's just dropped that one a fraction short. And Harry Conroy, well, he knew that was tight. Stays off, and one shot is claimed and conceded. So Tim Thorning off to the best possible start. Loves that short length here, Timmy Thorning. Got such great touch. And expect that's going to be his tactic early. Test out that fine weight control of Harry Conroy. Tim asking for that one just to hold. It's probably run a bit further than he might have preferred, but it's still going to be not far past minimum length. And it'll bring the rolling scoreboard in. You'll see all the results across the 4 rinks in action. There's Tim Thorning. Well, he turned his back on that one, didn't like it. Your marker is Travis Moran, who's had a big campaign. Jumped in the commentary box alongside us for the last game. Harry comes down. He's going to draw that one. That's a nice start from Harry Conroy. As we see Tim Thorning switch over. Calling for that one to get down. Speed was very good. Both these players really quick on the mat. This is a good bowl here. Harry Conroy just slipping past. And Thorning now wasting no time to fire that down. Just left that short of a run. And for Harry now, a chance to jump on. Little touch on the jack here. Little touch, yes, well done, Harry. Thorning now switching back to the forehand. Just wants to get to those back two. Rest inside, well, he's close here. Just hasn't given it enough. And Harry Conroy favourites, probably 3 shots. Basically a free kick for players of these boys' ability. So the first 3, the one in front and the next 2 behind, belong to Harrison Conroy. A big afternoon here for Gunnedah. Charlie Cameron in the under 15 girls singles. Little touch, well, he's made definite 3. May still be 4. And their tape's going to get pulled out. So that was Harry at the front. And full count it is. So you don't get those often against a player of the calibre of Tim Thorning. And for Harry Conroy, that's about as good as you can hope for at the start of this match. See what length he opts for. He's still looking to be on the shorter side, but a few metres longer than the Tim Thorning 23 metre length or 22 metre length that he was looking for. So a big start for Harry. That'll give him some confidence. You're playing the bowler, not the bowler, but this bowler here, this young man, Tim Thorning, he's very quickly risen to be one of the stars of the game, not just his club and his region. It's going to a drawn shot. Close hit from Harry, slips past, that's really good. Both these players using almost identical bowls, so they'll be able to go to school on each other's tracks. One just sliding under. Beautiful weight once again from Tim Thorning. Harry just needs to hurry now, get past the front. Tim Thorning asking the question. How many? And just one was the answer from Travis Moran. Well, once again, impeccable weight from Thorning. Harry Conroy's been impressive throughout this event. And tough competitor like Tim Thorning coming up against. He just left that one a little bit short. And what does Tim Thorning see here? We'll tap the foot at the back of the rink. Favour he feels if he can trail that jack. He does own the bowl to the left-hand side and to the right-hand side of the bowl with the green sticker above the jack. So a little trail, and Tim Thorning geometry is going to say that might be even 3 back there. Want this one to really get home now. Going to slide through the hole. Yep, and one claimed by Harry, confirmed by Tim. One shot it is. Trav Moran doing a really good job for us, making sure it's explicit. Which you can see the junior shields in the background there. That's what these players are playing for. And, well, it's 8 fabulous competitors out here on the rink. So do drop a comment. Let us know wherever you're watching around Australia or around the world. Harry Conroy off to the brightest possible start here. Picked up a 4 and then a 1, so consecutive ends, including a full count. Just let that one slide past. as you'd expect. Drops that close. Harry Conroy's adjusted, switch of hands, adjust his weight. A little kiss on the jack on the way past. And Thorning asking, does he have it? I went with that one. Feel this is going to be a quick game. The players spend very little time on the mat. They're just so confident. See the shot, get the bowl away. Harry just dropping a fraction short there. Indication from Travis Moran is that Tim Thorning is holding shot. Well, this will be number one now. It's a really good shot. Harry Conroy applauding from the other end. These two players, good mates off the pitch. Well, they're going to be fierce rivals here today. The right sort of track to draw it there from Harry, just slipping past. And for Thorning now with a bowl to play. He's going to have a good look. I wonder whether or not he might be tempted to switch over to the backhand. Turn the 4 o'clock bowl with the green stickers. Green, they probably look very dark on your picture. Turn that once, make a potential 3. That's the look here from Thorning. Just left that one a little bit short. Trav had the tape out waiting. And Thorning going to work. One shot it is. One to Tim. 5-2. As we see, quick change of tactics from Timmy. Matt's going all the way back. And that jack's been fired. Going to look for something on the full length now. So 5-2 first to 21 here, the junior singles final. Still that hour and 45 minute time limit, but these players play so quickly, you feel as though that's not going to come into it. Call from Tim, how far's he got to go? Looks really disciplined here, Tim Thorning. He's been a bit of a larrikin throughout the whole program, but he knows this is the one that he's come to get. Brilliant singles player, well credentialed. Harry Conroy, that's going to slip in for shot. Well done. So Tim Thorning had a 21-4 win in the semi-final just before here over Xander Weber. Well, for Harry Conroy, he got through knocking off Braden Tate. 21-9. Well, that to hang, he's got it. He's got the jack. Might put some pressure back on. Currently lying 3. Hey, Conroy's got this out on a wider line. Probably wants it to hurry a little bit. Well, he's gone very close to trying the shot there. Thorning's asked for an opinion on the hit from Trav Moran. Having a bit of a smile and a chuckle, the boys. Team looking positive here, trying to sit that bowl out. Well, you can see why it was the only one of Harry Conroy's with him, Kui. Sits and stays, it's 4. Gets it out clean, it's at least 3. But for Harry Conroy, unsure if he's got shot or not. That orange bowl with the little black dot in the middle of it, that's his best. Harry Conroy with last say here. This one needs to hurry as well. And the tape immediately in the hands of Tim Thorning. They're not going to muck around for this game. A lot of respect between this playing group. All very well credentialed in their own right. And one it is. So Harry Conroy out to a 6-2 lead. See, there is a bit of a cringe on his face. Wasn't quite sure he'd let that go to the lengths he was desiring, but he's sticking with these short ones as well. Well, this looks to be fair track for a starter. There'll be a few outside that. Tim's just ducked off to refill his water bottle. So while he's doing that, I'll tell you all about what's happening in the girls. So Zoe Davies is up against Chanel Shakouche. So Zoe Davies put on a bit of a demolition job against Sophie Payne. 21-2, she was victorious in her semi-final. And Chanel, well, Talia Kennedy played really gamely, I thought. Scoreline probably doesn't reflect the quality of her bowls, but 21 shots to 6. Chanel running out victor there. In the girls, we know it's Charlie Cameron from Gunnedah against Alice Winter from Cabramatta. Charlie Cameron in the semi-final defeated Annabelle Teague from Marylands. 21-15. Michael Wilkes is going to drop in alongside me. And well timed, Wilkes. I'm just going through the other games here. So Charlie Cameron up against Alice Winter in the under-15 girls singles. And in the under-15 boys, Josh Potts got over Charlie McCudden 21-17, while Zach Moran prevailed over Cooper Appleby from Curry 21-15. So those are your finalists. The rolling scoreboard will keep you up to date. Tim Thorning's back. Michael Wilkes is here. Wilksy, good afternoon.
G'day, Nick. How are you, mate?
They're going really good here.
See that jug of water I bought you at about 9 o'clock this morning's been a bit of a hit.
Hasn't touched the sides.
Has not even moved that level, I don't think.
You might need to bring us a jug of something else later on.
Well, yes. I'll be with you there.
Timmy, well, he's just got such fine weight control, Tim Thorning.
Good start by Harrison, eh?
Well, he's off to a bright one. Picked up a 4 early. And those chances come along very infrequently against a player of the calibre of Timmy Thorning.
Yeah, you've got to cash in on that opportunity, don't you? Won't get too many with Tim. Try and keep that little buffer on him as long as you can.
Well, Timmy was imperious in his victory over Xander Weber.
Yeah, he was brilliant. Actually, I was marking a few ends of the game next door, and yeah, no, he was on song there for certain. He's had his little highs and lows this week, Timmy. He's quite the player. I think he's one of the best juniors in the country. I don't think too many people would argue with that. He's had his little moments where he's a lot of the rinks across the venue are slight variations, and there's some of them that he's hopped straight onto it, and a couple that he's fished around a bit, trying to find his weight and hit a line. By his own admission too, he's poor at games. He's been honest with himself. That's probably what makes him such a good player, Nick. That he's realistic about his performances. He doesn't try and sugarcoat things. But he did tell me the first day he got here that he would win this title, so we're about to find out.
Well, a bit hard to back against him. He's got that confidence and he's got the game to do it.
Well, he's going for a three-peat, isn't he? This is for the three-peat.
Exactly right. Now,
could be 3 down here. At least 2.
Well, exactly as Michael Wilkes just suggested. Could be 2, might be 3. Done a good job, Trav. Tough game to mark this one. Players so quick.
Yes.
And the bowls really, really similar. We did get a set of dark stickers on Harry Conroy's. Well, he's just gone to hurry around the back there, and I think that's
smart shot.
Intelligent play. Tim Thorning, there's very few heads that he doesn't fancy his chances in.
Absolutely.
So
I wouldn't be surprised if he's playing some sort of weight down the backhand of this.
Let's get through the wide one down to the jack. Through his
centre
own
one
front.
through the head.
Yep.
Even a 1 down at the back's a lot better than the way it is at the moment.
Yeah, he does look to have game face on. He's been a bit of a larrikin all week, but once he steps onto the green...
Oh, absolutely. He's down the forehand.
He's going to back himself to draw it cold.
And he's to get down, mate. Might cut those other 2 out. If you can just get down inside that, we'll flop.
And well, Harry gave it a big clap, and 1 it is.
1 shot. Yeah, good save, Timmy.
So you can see the respect between these 2 boys as well. They trust each other when they're calling the head. Harry said, yeah, I'm only going to claim 1 there, mate. And Timmy Thorning said, fair enough.
He's probably one of the big improvers out of this whole event, Harrison. I've always had a bit of time for Harry, but he's had an excellent few days. Obviously been working hard at his game, because you can see the improvement in his consistency.
Well, that game he had against Jack Barclay on the stream the other night was one of the best games you'll see at this event. So they went toe-to-toe, shot for shot. Jacks were moving around. Bowls were getting planted out. There was no silly weight. They were just playing really good bowls.
Yeah.
Which pushing things around rather than going silly at it.
It's good weight on this green, to be fair. Like, there's a time and a place for the hitting, but it's quite friendly with the line and the speed to play that sort of 2 foot metre of weight. Just landing bowls, turning jacks. Here's another one, Jack Barclay, who's impressed as well this week. Got a fair bit of depth there, Nick.
I was going to say the selectors are going to have a job on their hands.
Yes, we had a little meeting the other day, and we shortlisted the 8 for the Tri-Series down to about 24.
Well, that's really good from Tim Thorning.
Yeah, great starter, Timmy.
A little scrape on the jack would have been the best you could have done there, but he's... Well, it's not even second prize, is it? It's still first prize.
Well, that's true, yeah. He's hitting it behind the jack, though. Pretty fair effort there by Harry.
It's a great weight for the shot.
That's that nice weight on this green, especially in these conditions where there's not a lot of wind.
Yeah, we did see it get up a little bit earlier on in the pairs. It's settling down now. And a beautiful afternoon here in Merimbula at Club Sapphire.
Paradise, mate. Paradise. Actually, we've had pretty good weather, haven't we, Nick?
Oh, look, there's been less rain than in Ballina the last couple of weeks, so I can't complain. Harry's close
Good
here.
shot here, Harry. What a great shot. He's got a pretty good fan base there just alongside us, Nick. The Wagga Rules crew.
Well, plenty from Wagga, plenty from Gunnedah here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got another one of their members, Charlie Cameron, over there playing the under-15 girls final, so they're a little bit more spread out.
Well, for Harry here, what's he looking at doing? Wants to defend, potentially. Favourite's got first and third.
Looks that way, yeah, absolutely. Timmy's sort of semi-locked in there as well. Down the forehand, just flopping off that bowl.
I tend to agree. I think that's the one that I like.
He won't leave any targets out there.
Yeah, gets back to the centre line, really important.
Not a fair line, he might just get in a little bit. That's how he shimmies off this. Very handy there though, Nick.
Well, two now at the back of the rink. Tim Thorning can just press this shot bowl through. Gets it the right way, can make two. Little trail can make two as well.
I don't know if he's quite sent it, mate. Just sort of dropped that a little bit. Didn't quite get through his delivery.
And one it is to Harry Conroy, so 8-2. Well, we saw this in the sectional rounds, the quarter final from Tim Thorning. He was down a fair margin. Over it was 14-4 or thereabouts.
Yeah.
He came back.
He's one of those electrifying sort of players, mate. When he finds that weight,
Oh, look out.
look out. Yeah. It's a pretty important little stretch here, next 3 or 4 ends. There's a little chance for Harrison here if he can just keep that pressure on him.
Yeah,
Maybe
so
sort of convince Timmy into playing a couple of runners, and he's not quite found the weight, so the longer you can keep him playing other shots, the longer it's going to take him to drop on it.
yeah, so it was Cooper Fleedner who was out to a good lead. I think it was 14-4,
Yeah.
and Timmy came back and got him 21-18.
Pretty fair effort too. Fleetner was outstanding in the pairs final earlier today.
He's shown he's right up to it at this level, and expect to see him prominently in open competition before too long, I'd expect.
Absolutely, yep. Doesn't say a lot. Doesn't say anything. Very, very quiet young man, Cooper.
Well, Timmy's
Great shot, Timmy.
locked on there.
A bit unlucky just to hang it outside the jack there a little bit, mate. He's given him a look at the set.
Not very early.
Might not quite have the line or weight on this one. A little chance for Timmy to clean this one up.
Yes, Cooper Fleetner, who was a member of the Super Coopers. They got up in the
Super Coopers. I like that.
They got up in the boys pairs final earlier.
Interesting one, eh? Last year they were runners-up to Xander and Cooper Appleby in an absolute cracker of a match. They weren't leaving it to chance this time around. They were deadly.
Well, this looks pretty close here. Wants it to just hold for a little while longer.
Beautiful weight. Yeah, given that every chance. Ended up in a very good spot.
Yeah, great to see the just superb weight control from these boys early in their careers. You feel as if you're going to hear the name Tim Thorning and Harrison Conroy for many years to come.
Absolutely, mate. No doubt about that. And this
Well,
marker as well, mate. We'll be hearing plenty more about him as well, Travis Moran.
Well, Timmy may have set something up there.
He has given a bit of a look, hasn't he? Especially those couple of back bowls. Probably the only thing going for Timmy here. He has got last bowl. Every chance, any sort of weight, that jack's going to splash into a fairly open area on the rink. Especially with that second shot just in front of the jack.
So still pretty controlled here.
Yeah, he's backed himself to play good controlled weight.
This is
It's a
close.
very good effort here. Oh,
Gets a piece of the jack.
beautiful shot.
Doesn't get a result. And for Thorning now.
Little free throw here, mate.
Well,
the way he's drawn those two in, I'm expecting Timmy to drop another one in here. And I think if he maybe gets to that back one on the outside there.
yeah, which one do you like for fourth currently? I think it could be Tim Thorning at the front.
I think so. If he can lay that outside one down, he may well bring the other one in. So he's pushed it out into that area. As he sent it though.
Well, it might bring the front one in.
Yeah, a little bit of movement. 2.
But 2 it is. So, well, important from Tim. And, well, he's had a couple of different tactics. Now he's going to take the mat all the way up the line.
So there's Charlie Cameron over there. Timmy's club mate has jumped out to a fly, 14-1.
Well, really a dominant performance over Annabelle Teague.
Yeah, she played outstanding. I marked a bit of that game. She did play extremely well, Charlie. Very good weight control.
Yeah, they've been impressive. All this Gunnedah contingent.
It was a very impressive junior group down there, isn't it? Jacob Martin as well. He's had a good week.
Well, he had a very good campaign too in the reserve pairs up in Ballina.
Yes, making the final.
Took a very good side to beat him.
Yeah, absolutely. The Austral boys.
Well, the Austral crew, good mates of yours now. They've spent plenty of time down here for the indoor singles. They're putting a bigger and bigger contingent in every year.
Yeah, we had a cracking field this year. Nick, of course, you were part of it. 40-odd entrants from memory between the men and women.
Yeah, 2 full greens here at Club Sapphire for the indoor singles, so it was great to see 2 days of action. I just want to get down now.
Not quite getting back. We still a couple to Timmy there.
Gee, it's nice weight again. You see these really good tight heads building. Timmy's flipping it over. Be okay if he gets past, gets that back one.
Oh, he's pretty handy here. That's
It's
a
right to
really
the
good
back.
spot there.
Very clever.
Not easy to get those 2 clean. He looks like he's shaping up with a bit of weight here. Yeah, nice gentle weight again. He's backing himself with his touch, isn't he? It's impressive. You do see some of the kids resort to that big bullet, don't they? A fair bit, more than I do anyway. Only because I'd never hit them, but they're a bit more accurate than us, Nick.
Speak for yourself. No, it's the very rare Michael Wilkes absolute
So I'm going to be in a lot of trouble.
thunderbolt down the middle.
Yeah.
I did see you play one against Scott Matheson a couple of years ago, very early in the game.
Did I hit it?
No, it
Of
didn't.
course not. Yeah. That's why I retired that shot.
Well, for Tim here, he gets down to this outside.
How much is he going to tidy it up? No, it's still there. There's still a nice open jack for Harrison.
Same sort of shot you like, Michael.
Well, I think so. To the ditch now. You don't die wondering these situations. You're 3 down. The last thing you want to do is underplay the shot. I think he really wants to play that sort of weight that if he gets that front counter, he might get a couple out. Otherwise, he just trails that jack straight in the ditch. Yeah, he's a bit more positive here. He's got to get down though. It's just hung off. Well,
So it's going to be through to Timmy.
as I sort of said earlier, mate, he's dropped onto his weight here a bit, Timmy. I had noticed earlier today, this was a tactic of his. He was going short down to the ditch. Seems to like those short ends.
Well, he's probably found a range he's found most compatible for his game. And the good touch player that he is.
He's got a good runner too, so I guess he's probably really backing himself that if trouble develops,
He can just go slap it into the
he
pit.
can get that jack in the ditch. Probably 8 times out of 10 you'd see him hit some part of the jack.
Well, this time of the afternoon it does get tricky, particularly down this end of the green. Light and dark.
It's a fair starter. Probably 18 inches short of the jack. This is where he needs to probably drop one on here, I think. Arrests that momentum back. Timmy's getting in first here and then capitalising, isn't he?
Well, this looked to be a bit under the line, but a little scrape there will help. Well, this is where you do talk about Tim Thorning.
Yeah. His eyes
might just go straight in.
There's every chance. He's just marched up to the mat. Yep. Not far away. It's a pretty solid game plan, isn't it? When you've got that precision, he's got such a good draw shot, obviously, as well, but he's got such good precision with that nice controlled weight. Pretty hard to set a plan against him. I did play up front against him in the semi-final of the state pairs up at Ballina a few weeks ago, a week or so back. And I've got to say, he probably got me. But same thing, he played some absolute screamers at third with that good precision weight where we develop ahead, and then Timmy had come along and ruin our fun.
It did look like you had a lot of fun up there though, Michael. Some great competitors.
Yeah, it was a good 10 days. It was fantastic. Shame about the rain. I'm sure they would agree with that up there, but you unfortunately can't control those things. Without a doubt, some of the best greens I've played on probably ever, considering the amount of rain that they had. Yeah, Duncan and the crew up there did an outstanding job. And the club in general.
Yeah, they turned on a great show. The catering, food and
Absolutely.
beverage service.
Had a very nice curry there. Lunch a couple of times. Chicken curry they had going as a special. Yeah, excellent club. Looking forward to my next visit there, hopefully in a couple of years' time with a bit of luck.
It's not quite the special that Tim Thorning would have been hoping for. Still
Still got a room.
enough room for Harry to get there.
Looks like he could be shade high, mate. Oh, he's getting down, gets to his own.
Off that. Well, that's going to cut things down.
Or possibly scored there.
I think it's only one to Tim Thorning. He's claiming it.
Right up.
Yeah, and one it is. So we're getting started now. 8 all.
Game on, mate.
Yeah, well, we've seen so many of these contests, particularly on the streaming ring. Really hard to pick who's going to win. They've been into it early. I was looking at my...
What is that?
I had... Right towards the end of the time in Ballina, you might see on my neck a few red spots there. I got
Midges?
I got attacked by the midgies.
Yeah, I copped it. Have a look at my elbow.
Yeah, and they're... Yep, so...
They killed me.
After all the rain they've had up there, there's a fair bit of standing water around and it's a good breeding ground for bitey insects.
I actually didn't even factor it in the first day, and I went back and I was scratching like a dog with fleas. I actually had an episode at one of our junior camps at Warilla last year where they got me over on that green, the far green round the corner from the clubhouse there.
It gets a bit swampy over that back corner, doesn't it?
I was on the far rink marking a little singles game, and when I went to bed that night, first time I'd ever really experienced that, Nick.
Well, we've seen Tim jump on here and
a couple of good openers.
Park one at the back of the rink. That'll stay up.
Starting to just settle into his rhythm now, isn't he?
Well, player of his calibre. Wouldn't expect much less. It's good from Harry. He's chipped his own bowl across. It's probably the shot.
No doubt Timmy's dad Pud will be at home with this on the big screen in the lounge room. Sitting having a cuppa. Very good supporter of his son's bowls. Pud has been over the years. Had a lot to do with Timmy's development. Very good player in his own right, isn't he, Nick? I think he won a couple of champion pairs with Nathan Wise. At least one.
Yeah, we've seen him prominently in a few fields in recent years
Absolutely.
and years gone by. Well, Harry's on a good line here. Even if he slips past, turns that one over, gives him something at the back of the rink.
I'll give him a shot.
And it also gives him shot. So
Timmy just a little bit of searching weight here, looking to get down to the bowl. Just holding Thorning. Not quite enough that.
Got down to the back one, so Tim was second and third, but he's out of bullets.
A little bit of an opportunity for Harry. Free throw. Pretty important in these sort of games. Finals, state title on the line. These are the ones you need to be getting. You can add an extra 3 or 4 shots on your card by the end of the game if you're putting these ones in there.
Well, he's played
It's
it pretty
fair,
well.
I think.
He's played that very well. That's going to be 2 shots. Well done, Harry Conroy. So that'll be a 2. Harry gets back in front.
What will he do with the length here, Nick?
Well,
Tim's just shown him that he's pretty keen on these short lengths. Stretched it a bit, but not a lot.
yeah, speaking with him, he said, and a few players have mentioned it, they found full length was been really hard to find.
Yep.
So they don't have the privilege of this being their second home as you do.
It's probably my home, actually, to be fair. You ask my wife.
Well, the great Karen Oak, she's been around.
She's up there somewhere today. That's why I came into commentary, mate. Hope she's not listening.
No, so fantastic. Well, wherever you're listening, wherever you're watching around Australia or around the world, the fans in Victoria, they've crowned their junior singles champion in Victoria this afternoon, Kobe Cromie.
Kobe, you're right, he's a pretty formidable opponent.
So
Yes, absolutely. Well done, Kobe. Congratulations, mate.
our great man Brett, he's the coordinator at Wagga Rules. So peeps, good day to you, going grade H. Phil watching from Silverdale. Steve-O watching from St Clair. Cody
Great
O'Keefe.
shot, Harry.
Oh, he'll be cheering.
Cody O'Keefe, yeah, he's one of the Wagga boys. He was down for the Australian indoor qualifier here.
Yeah. Him and Josh Allman need to compare the length of their shorts, I reckon.
Oh, well, yeah. Or the lack of.
I reckon they set the dryers to extra hot, those boys, when they chuck the shorts in.
Yep. The Warwick Kappa of bowls, is that what you're suggesting?
Well, that's about the length of those shorts. Sam McGuigan, he's one of the good juniors that you might have had a little bit to do with. He's from Yass, but we've been heavily involved with CHS in recent years. You may have bumped into him.
Probably have. Had a lot to do with the Yass boys. I know the Pennu boys and a couple of them there. Obviously, they were under the ACT umbrella, so they're not in our program. But
Well, we will see them, though, again at the Junior 7-a-side.
yeah, which is fantastic. Yeah, they've been last 2 or 3 years, Nick. That was one of your initiatives, wasn't it?
Just slightly before my time, but yeah, it's great to lock that in.
Absolutely, yeah.
H being called to hurry, just wants to keep off that. Well, probably done enough. Might be 2 here now.
Looks that way. A nice little shot down the forehand though, Tim. He's got a few options here.
And Carmen's saying, well, that was badly done. They both have orange bowls, just like the bad old days when it was all black.
Well, that's true too. Same problem back then, mate.
Well, this is a better problem to have. At least these ones look good.
So if you're looking at the back of his, or to get down to that shot bowl, Jack-Eye shot bowl, he's pretty close
Something
to this.
like this, Michael.
Pretty close to this.
Something just like that. He's
Close.
got it.
What
That's
a great shot, Tim.
Oh.
He's even clapping himself, mate. Or was that a little dig at someone?
Oh, I thought you were going to be nice to him today.
That might have been for my benefit, do you reckon?
Well, you only play good bowls when the selectors are watching.
That's right. I think we're going to put the tape on this. So I reckon Timmy might like a couple here. He's already put him on the scoreboard.
Well, it's all over. A couple of rinks away. Charlie Cameron has
Run away.
run away to win.
So the players and the marker, Timmy and Trav, both indicating over to our commentary position that it's a couple. Yes, yeah, 2 to Timmy, 10 all.
So,
Strap yourself in. This could be a bit of a marathon, mate.
well, we're on a time limit, but I don't see the timekeeper getting bothered too much. They play so quick, these boys.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
You know, Harry's no slouch, but Tim, he just lets them go before even I'm ready for it. So I do feel for Trav Moran as our marker here. He's got to have his game face on. The same colour bowls. 2 really quick players. But he's doing a fantastic job. He's a true pro, Trav Moran.
Absolutely, yeah. All class, Travie. Unfortunately, quite possibly might age out before the Nationals. I think they might be having a look at it with the date moving, but there's been a few stories like that. Reese Finn Young, one of our kids, aged out a week before this event for her last state championships. And another one of our juniors who represented New South Wales at the Tri-Series, Charlie Grebbett, aged out today, which is frightfully unlucky.
Tough for Harry. For Charlie, sorry. But,
absolutely. Yeah, nicely played, Timmy. Still having a bit of space there for Harry.
Does happen. Another young bloke you've had a bit to do with, Harvey McAllister.
Yes,
he missed out only by a week or so for the Junior Nationals last year.
Did he? Okay, that's unlucky, isn't it?
Oh, no, 2 years ago, sorry, in Perth. But he took it in his stride. He was part of the Open Fours team, and like the quality individual he is, he just said, no, that's fine. I'm going to go out there and give it our best in the fours. And I think we see these great attitudes from these juniors.
Absolutely, no doubt about that. He's done good things, Harvey, isn't he, up there in Canberra? He's with the ACT. He's kicking some goals.
Yeah, had a run down in Victoria in Metro Pennant this year.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah. A little bit of count and cover stuff going on here, I think. He's probably hung around enough for a third.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure, scoreboard pressure building. Harry Conroy, he's been very impressive so far.
I was just going to let go on him. Well, this is one of those moments, isn't it? He's holding 3. Nearly can pick where he puts this bowl. I'm tipping he'll probably just try and drop inside that outside bowl for a 4th shot. There's not a lot other than the little sit trail shot going for Harry here. But it's one he must get, I feel.
Yeah, looking backhand.
He'll do enough to count.
Timmy, he's going to do enough to count and, importantly, not fatten anything up. So big bowl here, Harry Conroy. Can he turn this head over? The positive line.
His weight's not too bad, Nick. He's got to get down past the front. Yeah, he's going to help a hell of a lot.
Well, that has helped massively.
Great shot.
He put his hand up. He said, well, it wasn't exactly the way I wanted to get it, but...
Yeah, he was in the air enough. There was no real fluke to that.
And 4 down. It was a good pressure bowl. So 11-10. Well, whoever's going to win this game, they're going to have to work hard for it, Michael.
Absolutely. Yeah, especially with bowls like that going down. There was a little sniff there for Timmy to pick up a soft count, but Harrison was most certainly up to it. This is where he wants to dob one straight on at first bowl, mate. So over to you, Tim.
Well, that first bowl pressure, such a important component of these singles games. You land it first up, really helps set you up for...
See, Chanel Shakouche is 12-8 up over there against Zoe Davies in the girls' final, the girls' 18s final. Charlie Cameron, of course, has already secured the under-15s title with what looks to have been a pretty flawless display, mate.
Well, 21-1, you can't ask much more than that.
No.
And
Just left a bit of room there for Harry.
against a player with the upside of Alice Winter.
Absolutely. Yeah, some good young ones, isn't there? I think I have been impressed about a lot of good kids in that sort of 12, 13, 14 age bracket. Plenty of years of juniors ahead of them.
Yeah, worryingly seeing how good they are now. I mean, it's scary for some of us older fellas to
Absolutely.
how good they might be.
Yeah, absolutely. Retirement may be looming.
Just sneak around to a couple of tournaments here and there, Michael.
Yeah, well, we'll just have to have a good look at the field before we go, though.
I'll save you space at Gunnedah, mate, in December.
Fantastic. I might bring some juniors with me. I got them to try and carry me at Dubbo. It nearly worked over there.
The international fours, yeah,
Yes.
you had a good crew
Yeah,
there.
it was great, yeah. Jazzy Smith.
Harry's
Reece.
after this.
What a great
H.
shot. And dropped in nicely, covered it up.
Yeah, no targets.
Has he pushed it out a bit here, mate?
He's back well. You can feel there's just a bit of a zephyr now coming through.
He gets a nice arc on his XGs. Actually, when that game I played him at Ballina, it was one of the wet days in the semi-final, and I was using those internationals, which are a wider turning bowl, and down one side of the green, he was getting a bit more hoop than I was with his XGs, which was surprising.
You know, some blokes, the way that they get them away.
Yeah, particularly on his forehand, I noticed he gets a fair bit more arc on his forehand. He gets it onto the bias a bit quicker. Harry looking to make it 2 down the back end here.
Well, he can play basically the same bowl as his last. He's after this one too.
Might just be a little bit runny, I think, mate. If he middles that,
Not all bad.
Third or fourth. Timmy just needs to find probably 18 inches, I reckon. He'll back himself here, make his correction.
We see the lights starting to take effect. You can see shadows going in a few different directions now.
As he pushed it.
As we draw to the end of this
it's a
campaign, he's
cracking
right
shot.
up to it now, is he, Timmy? Yeah, look at the fist pump.
Yep, that's all talent. That's what that is. All talent.
Rare to see that sort of emotion from Tim Thorning, but the big fist pump at the top of the screen. Have a look at this one on the replay. He was down.
You like that when he let go of it, Nick?
And,
See the strut straight away.
well, exactly, yes, strutting after it. But just have a look after he's drawn the shot. Have a look at this fist bump from him at the top of your page. You don't see that so often from him, so he knows he's in a fight here.
Bit of emotion, I like that. Means it matters.
Well, Harry Conroy won't let it come to him easy, so it's 11 all.
He's carrying himself well, Harry. He's playing one of the best in the business here. And he doesn't look flustered at all, does he?
Looks very composed. All the boys were having a good chat before the start of the game, and while they're great mates, you can see there was just a little bit of focus there. He was ready to go here, Harry Conroy.
Absolutely, yeah. He had a convincing enough win in his semi-final, but he didn't get it all his own way. He's shown himself to be quite a competitor in those big moments. I don't think Timmy's going to get away with this easily,
Yeah, well,
if at all.
Well, Braden Tate, who was opponent of Harry Conroy, we saw him on the stream the other night. He knocked off Josh Allman, who played a good game. Josh probably said he might have left a few out there, though.
He had a little lapse in the sort of third quarter of the game. We just sort of allowed a couple of soft shots for Braden, and then he wasn't able to reel them back in, unfortunately, for Joshy. He's had a good campaign too, Josh. One of our juniors here. He's shown a lot of improvement in the last 12 months or so. That's a great shot there by Harry. Will we see Timmy?
Have a look at this.
Yes, it's sort of right in his wheelhouse, this. Probably thinking a little bit about not getting his own back bowl out, but no, he's backed himself.
Well, here it goes.
Oh, well.
Sliding under.
You're looking to tidy this up a bit, Nick. I don't think we're going to see Tim Thorning miss that twice.
Well, you do reckon he's 8 out of 10.
He's got away a bit there. That's sort of ended up a bit in no man's land there.
Well, I mean, that's the only way that the jack's going to go if it's going to go sideways, but you do back Tim Thorning on that backhand. He'll just pot that one out.
Yeah, I'd
potentially sit and stay for a big number here.
jack in the hole. I think if he's getting the ball through the jack, there's every chance with the weight he's going to play. The jack may end up outside the rink, back on the tee, and I'd say that Timmy's still got one, maybe two. Yeah, he's going a little bit quicker.
Well, cleared out. Harry's at the back. And at the front. So 3 balls left on the rink.
This is the definition of a free throw, mate. You must count these if you're going to win these titles.
Well, and for Harry Conroy too, he's got a fixed reference point. Draw to the tee.
Simple as that.
Yeah. You know, you don't need to get too creative. You're not chasing that white thing around. Just draw to the tee.
As long as he doesn't fall for the old trap, try and just creep past the front counter or back yourself to draw right to the target. He might have fallen for that old trap.
Yeah, that's
he's tried to sneak it in, and that's you got to commit to those shots, Nick.
Well, that's why I said, you know, to the tee. You've got a reference point. That's
Absolutely.
an area that you practice all the time, don't you? You know,
commit to the shot
when you're doing 40 bowl drill or whatever you do. You've usually got that tee's your target.
I think you mark that moment down. Because that may be where we end up at the end of this game. That little moment there where we had 1.5 meters to draw a counter could well determine the outcome in the end.
Well, pressure does strange things to a lot of us, and
absolutely,
these pressure moments, well, there's a lot of learning going on here.
That's what it's all about at the end of the day, mate. Seen plenty of learning too this week. Kids that have turned up here nervous and so forth at the start of the event. By the time they got round to the fours day, they're jumping out of their skin and playing.
Slapping hands, high fives. And
great shots, yeah.
Yeah, great to see the friendships and the confidence that comes with it on the green. So many first timers here.
Just asking it to hold a bit there. Through the gate, I think. Hopefully the Brisbane Lions kick like that tonight.
What is on for you after this? I've been asking all the players. So have you got any commitments, or are you going to have a little bit of a rest now?
Oh, I've probably got 60 or 70 barefoot bowlers tomorrow, mate. And I've got a fair few on Saturday, I'm tipping. I've a couple of days off Monday, Tuesday, and then a little bit of a lull, and then we hit our major tournament season down here. So we've got our Fortune Fours from the 7th to the 9th of May, followed by our Milestone Pairs, which are a couple of men's events.
Have they been filled yet, Michael, or is there still spots available?
The Fours is full. We have a couple of vacancies in the Pairs if anyone's interested. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I'll talk to Jake Barnes and let you know.
Absolutely, that'd be great.
Timmy Thorning's played a great one there. Jake and I were in the money up until the last game last year.
That's right. Yep.
Somebody forgot how to play, and it wasn't Jake Barnes.
We were talking about him the other day, weren't we? He's another one who's improved leaps and bounds since he's moved to Warilla. Always showed a lot of potential, Jakey. Yeah, beyond that, it'd be the inner region, the end of May.
You're not going up for anything perhaps in the lead up to the Australian Open again, Michael?
No, I haven't played the Australian Open for a few years, mate. I'll sort of try and...
What about that little Falls event beforehand?
No, not this year. Yes, we had a bit of fun at that a couple of years ago. Managed to get lucky, mate. Well selected team, I think, more than anything. Yeah, no, I'm probably going to hook the van on the back of the Amarok a few times through the winter months, and we'll do a little bit of touring around. We like to get down to Lakes Entrance, got a few mates down there, and maybe head along the south coast and visit a few different destinations.
Well, what's Harry going to have a look at here? Does he have 3rd and 5th in your favour? I reckon he's got to back himself to maybe trail that jack on the backhand. There is a shot in the forehand to turn
in off his own, yes.
Turn down there. A couple of ways of getting at this.
I think he might back himself to draw this down that backhand there, Nick, as you said in first instance. He's been playing that hand pretty well. There's not a lot to hit, is there, for any sort of running weight? Yeah, he's opted for this draw shot down the backhand.
How's he looking? Is he out quite high enough?
Not quite be out high enough. He's played nice weight.
It's good speed once again, Harry Conroy. That's an impressive miss. If there is such a thing, he's done that pretty nicely there. Tim Thorning, though, he's having a look to see how many it is currently, we reckon.
2. He's indicating 2.
2, so the front 2 we like.
A little opportunity to draw a shot just on that high line here. It's the same thing as just a minute ago. Is down the backhand. Got to commit to these. Very easy just to lag it, worrying about giving a shot away, but if you're going to play well, you've got to back yourself to play well, so you give this every chance here.
Well, I had a great chat with Cody Packer last week at the state championships.
You'll see it again, mate. Lagged it.
And he was talking about how positive calls. You know, Katie Astley's still quite young in her career as a skip, and talking about these positive calls. Don't think about what can go wrong. Think about what can go right for you when you play those shots.
Absolutely. Yeah, you assess the danger. That's an obvious part of head reading, but once you make your decision of what you're playing, you've got to commit to it. It's especially when you've got room, like we've just seen the last couple of ends, to add counters. That's about backing your skills.
Yeah, not going crazy at low percentage things, but just
no.
If you've determined that is the best shot, then commit to it. And if it does go wrong, well, you can have the bowl a chance. Yeah, move on.
Assess the danger, assess the risk, then back your skills. Fair opener again by Timmy.
Great to have somebody like Katie Packer able to work with all those Merrylands juniors.
Absolutely.
Such a well-credentialed player.
Absolutely, yeah. Very good program out there.
Now the New South Wales singles champion.
Yes, very impressive in that final, wasn't he? Well, in the whole campaign. I actually watched a fair bit of his sectional game against Brett Dupre, who won our regional singles.
A fair bit of that would have been 4 or 5 hours, wouldn't it?
It did go a fair while. I was actually trying to get back to the motel. Everyone else was back there having a barbecue, and I thought, no, well, he was there on his own, Brett, so I'm going to... He was on a ditch rink on the roadside there, so I actually watched it from outside the fence there. Yeah, I think it was 25-24 in the end. It was a ripping game.
Yeah, Brett fought back from a few behind.
Yeah.
Well, this is pretty close here from Harry. Was that to hold?
Catches that, it's going to help. Oh, we got a nice little wriggle back.
Oh, Timmy's flopped down right in front of it though, and it is a toucher.
Gets this ball into that right space. It's going to create a very good situation here for Timmy. Just drops it down the back on that high side of the line. Just down even to the tee will do him.
Just had to get past there.
He still does create that little bit of doubt though. For Harry, he doesn't want to chop his own ball out of the head here. He's nearly just got to play for that little pop on the bowl and create a little bit of an opening with the jack.
Oh yeah, get it moving first and then get the shot. It was a lesson you taught me many years ago at my first indoor singles campaign. I had a good game against Jay Bruce and I made a bit of a tactical error. I tried to be the hero with the first rather than get things moving. And what's what?
He's got himself the tee there. I think Timmy's had a little think about turning that bowl off the head, but low percentage, it could easily go wrong on him.
And at 13-12, Tim Thorning has taken the ascendancy. We're just seeing some absolute beautiful touch bowls here from both these very impressive young competitors.
Just asking for it to hold again.
Well, gets down, cuts this jack.
Great effort, Timmy. He straightened that angle up a bit. I wonder if those two bowls are touching. That gives him a bit more of a chance for a better result. If they're locked into each other, it's a bit less likely than that forehand of cutting the bowl off. He doesn't want to go mad with his weight.
But you can maybe...
Yeah, the backhand, he's a bit of a chance of edging himself, or more of a chance of edging himself off the head. Down the forehand, he's playing more solid at the bowl.
Yeah, it feels though it's
but to be honest
locked
with you,
in.
I reckon his best bet's to try and draw it, Nick. He's one behind, 2 behind is not the end of the world. 14-12, last thing he needs a little mini disaster. Hand Timmy 3 or 4. He's playing a bit of aggression though.
Well,
I think he's just under it.
Played it the way that we like though, Michael Wilkes. And
yeah, not silly way.
1 down. We'll be okay. We've seen an explosion next door.
Yes, who was that?
Trav Moran.
Trav Moran, taking a leaf out of his brother's book.
Haven't seen too many big hits from him, but there's another one to Tim Thorning.
Well, from what I can see here, he's got the only bowl on the green. There's only 1 bowl left to play. Well, maybe one on the edge of the ditch there. Must have cleared a few out. He'll be telling his brother about that one on the way home, no doubt.
Oh no, so Timmy Thorning out to a 14-12 lead now. This has been a really well played game. Trust you're enjoying it wherever you're watching around Australia or around the world.
Both players opting for this backhand down this, heading away from the clubhouse. I can tell you, I train on this rink a lot, and it's not our favourite hand for our members. When we're having a roll out here, we tend to play away from the side ditch on that forehand coming down here. It tends to be a sort of truer line. They're handling it well though, all the same.
Well, a very nice comment from Scott Matheson. Thanks for a wonderful 3 days, Michael Wilkes. You are the best in the business. It's a rare compliment from Scott Matheson.
Oh, can I print that out by chance? Is that able? Can we print out these comments?
Screenshots.
Screenshots, right? I'll do that when I get home.
Be the wallpaper on Michael Wilkes' phone for the next year.
It will. Thank you, Scotty. It was awesome to catch up, mate. He's young fella Gabriel. He's a
goer, isn't he?
He's addicted. He's addicted to lawn bowls. I think he's only been playing 4 or 5 months. And
yeah, Scotty told me he's had 7 pennant games and a couple of socials.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. He's in for a long career too. Scotty Matheson, one of the classiest players on south coast of New South Wales in general. So he's got good pedigree, Gabriel. I'm sure he'll end up being one hell of a fine player himself.
Well, we see there. Great bowl from Timmy Thorning. Squeezed it off, gets a toucher.
He's giving this every chance here. Just got to get down and run.
He's
played it
close.
well. What
He's
a
very
cracking
close.
shot. That'll do him.
That's really, really good stuff there from Harry Conroy. And would you believe 2 compliments in a row? Sam McGuigan saying, Nick Hind, you were great on the commentary. Well, the check will be in the mail for you, Sam McGuigan. Well done, mate.
I have heard some good things, Nick, about your commentary. And I do concur. Doing a fantastic job, mate.
Look, it's really easy when the players are delivering to this standard, Michael Wilkes.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've got to agree there. Timmy back on this forehand. A few chances, little sit, turn it around the corner. He's only got to run the trip here and he's close.
Well, just draw it himself. How about that?
Well played. What do you think, mate? Harrison stays down that back, and he played such a good bowl there just then.
You know, there's edges to get off down to the jack, spit it out to the side, make 2.
Touches 2, little sit on that shot bowl there. A few options. A little bit of a pest, that one at the front of Timmy. He's got to avoid that.
But he's played it really, really well. That previous bowl, and he's out on...
He's just got to release.
Reasonable sort of a track here.
Oh,
he's getting down now, look at this. Well,
it's got to be. Well, Timmy's already put the mat down, so it looks like he might just run a little bit too far through the gap there. Outstanding shot by Harrison.
Tim's claiming 1, and Harrison reluctantly concedes.
He's not doing anything wrong, is he? In the last few ends, just Timmy's just finding a way to wrangle one.
So 15 Tim Thorning, 12 Harry Conroy. The crowd hasn't moved. In fact, it's built up. The members are getting in here. They're standing around there watching some superb bowls.
We did have a little bit of social bowls over the back there this afternoon. I think quite a few of them might have hung around, mate. Why wouldn't you?
Well, you've only got 4 days of church and chocolates coming up, so you might as well stop around and have
all barefoot bowlers. Yep.
Have a refreshment.
Looks like Zach Moran might have just claimed the New South Wales Under-15 boys title.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Wilkes. So
looks like it's 21-9, Nick.
Congratulations to Zach. And Travis will be having a little competition in the car on the way home, you suggest, for bragging rights. Who's done better?
He's got a gold medal hanging around his neck. Well, will have in about half an hour.
Well, that'll be the second one, though.
Yes, well, a couple. Let's give this every chance here. Harrison, what a great shot. Great shot.
It's starting to hurt.
Oh, here we go. It's one of those things, those moments, I think. Here, Timmy, off he goes. Fire. Gee, that 8 out of 10 thing's not looking real good, I said earlier, is it?
Well,
might have hurt me.
Well, what it does mean, though, is that he's missed a couple. Very unlikely to miss again, though, you'd suggest, given his pedigree and his track record.
He doesn't miss those situations as it's sitting now, ever, really.
Important to give this one a friend here. Didn't quite go the trip.
He's backed himself to play a bit more delicate weight here. He's sort of trying to give himself that option of a good second, should he not. He's ended up lagging it.
Well,
it's a bit of second guessing, Nick, I think, that one.
You spoke before, Michael. Free kicks.
Well, there's no reason to have any fear down that backhand of trying to really back yourself to draw to this. You can't do any damage at all, really.
Yeah, just had a look to see, but I favour that front bowl of Tim Thorning's. Going to beat the wide one. There may have been an opportunity to pot that out, but this game situation calls for little risk at this stage.
Has he got the weight?
I think he's pretty good. Is he? Well,
I don't know that he has, mate. I don't think so.
Maybe he's only one.
Oh, there's 2 that he could have put on the card.
So, 13 Harrison Conroy.
I'd like to see him change this length, Nick.
15 Tim Thorning.
Well, he's playing all right on these sort of shorter 3/4 sort of lengths, but so is Tim. I think at the moment it's trying to find somewhere on the green that reduces Tim's effectiveness. He's backing himself in again, though.
Yeah, like in a straight shootout, he's gone this far, 13-15. But they've gone toe-to-toe here, these boys.
They have, absolutely. It's a pretty fair starter by Harrison.
Well,
yeah. What do I know?
Well, if you play that length, you've got to nail it the first time. As a front toucher. You taught me a bit about front touches too, Michael. About the greed some players shown with front touches, but
yes,
I haven't seen it from these boys.
Discipline. You need a bit of discipline in this sport.
Logan Waters, another one of the good boys from Yass. Keep it going, lads. Well, tell you what, Yass have been on here prominently throughout this whole show.
They've got a huge junior program down there, don't they? Yass?
Massive.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
They had 22 starters in their club junior singles championship this year.
That's unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah. Bowls is alive and well, and yes, no doubt about that. Some very proactive members there. The Penus are big drivers of that.
Yeah, Brett Penu, one of the best boys in bowls there. He does a lot for that club.
Absolutely.
Matty Waters, as well. Mary, the club manager, he's very good. This is very good here.
Great shot there.
Slips in behind. Wow.
Harrison. Smart bowl there. Give himself a chance to change the picture a bit. Missing in the right areas. That's half the battle, isn't it?
Tim Thorning urging that one up. He's got second.
Yeah, well, he still hasn't got a real easy shot at this. It's probably not a bad scenario for Harrison. If he runs into Tim's last bowl, he's just going to spurt the jack out into an area favourable to himself.
Yeah, I can't see Tim getting a collected more than one here.
Yep. Peel the jack round the corner.
But for Harry, he's a chance of making a little number. Maybe if he goes
just needs to hurry. Yeah, he hasn't quite lent into that one.
Yeah, you can see his body language was a bit ordinary. Didn't love it, but yeah, Tim Thorning, not a lot going for him on this head.
This is quite a tricky situation.
And where that last bowl's finished up, it's going to make it challenging. There might be a suggestion that he can get to the shot bowl underneath, but it's pretty precise weight required.
His weight's got to be perfect here. He can't afford to overplay this. Not quite going to get down, Nick.
Ooh, up and over, and he's given a second shot to Harry Conroy, so it's going to be 15 all.
Close one in the girls' final as well. The only other game remaining on the green, the girls' 18s final. Chanel Shakush is leading Zoe Davies 17-15. Pretty evenly matched game, that. I've got a lot of I've got big raps on Zoe. She's still got a few years left in the juniors.
Oh, mate, she's been mightily impressive. She
Absolutely.
came, showing a lot of confidence. She came on the live stream and bagged me immediately, so
good on her. Good on her.
She's going fantastic. I expect to be bagged, and I wonder if Scott Matheson hasn't actually been hacked, because he's complimenting me. So, Scott Matheson, if you're listening, your YouTube account has actually been hacked.
Has he got anything he wants to say about James Reynolds? That's
E.T.
Well, see what he's got to come through with. He was heaping it on poor old Jimmy last night.
I heard Jimmy and GM had a good time here last night, Greg Mallard.
Yeah, they're very close mates. Don't get to catch up that often.
But Jimmy did look like E.T. with the hood over the other day. I thought he was looking...
He's trying to hide, I think.
He was trying to
hide
home
from Scott.
One of the great things about our sport, we all get together and have a good time.
Absolutely. Yeah, friendships for life, mate.
There's been... Well, we've bagged each other, but it's all in good spirit here.
Yeah, in jest, mate. Absolutely. Little false start. Maybe some bit of movement at the end of the green there.
Well, they were saying this morning there was a couple of drips on their head as they were letting it go. And, I mean, you've done a sterling job, but you can't control that, can you? The condensation coming off the roof.
One. Yeah, absolutely. It's a strange one. As soon as they walk outside, if the grass is wet, I know it's raining under the dome. You can see those little stains on the green. Would have seen them throughout the day. We had this thing spotless 2 or 3 weeks back.
Well, Jimmy Thorning, well, he's done very nicely there.
That's probably the ideal result, isn't it?
Tucked it round the corner behind his own, and with Harry Conroy having 2 short bowls at the top of the rink. Important here just to give himself a chance. Spring that jack or finish past. Asking for the bowl to hang. Well, he hasn't. And
he's getting back right into that pack there. It's not going to assist in any way, shape or form, unfortunately, for Harry. Smart play here by Timmy. Just drop around the pack, get down to his second shot. Seen a few bowls being dropped short down this hand, aren't we? And there's another one again, Nick. Yeah. There's a few last 10 coming down this way, down that backhand.
Well, massively important here, Harry Conroy. Get yourself second shot. Don't give
this one's a bit better.
Don't give Tim Thorning a chance to get a big collect here on this end.
You hang around for second.
No, he's just overplayed at a fraction.
Slightly, give it more of a chance. He had to give that some hope then.
Well, that's where he needed
the front ones.
That's where he needed the third bowl.
Yes, yeah. And here we go with another one of those free kicks. I'm going to predict that Timmy won't miss this time. Back to the forehand. Yeah, that's the smart play. There's last bowl at the end. doesn't look like he's going to make it again, mate. He wouldn't turn that down, would he? Oh.
He has, but it may well not have gone far enough. I think 2 shots it still is to Tim Thorning. 17 all between Chanel Shakouch and Zoe Davies.
Couple of epics, mate.
Well,
fantastic. What a way to finish the brilliant 4 days of bowls.
it's been a sensational program, and credit to you and all the staff here at Club Sapphire for turning this on.
Yeah, we've got a good crew here. We're very lucky, mate. Fantastic kitchen staff, excellent chef, great bar staff, and Rowan Wilson.
Yes, even Rowan Wilson gets a mention here.
He's a worker. He's fantastic, Rowan. He's
one of those blokes that you need at a club who just put his hand up to do anything.
Absolutely. Well, he's been pouring drinks. He's been cleaning up glasses. He served lunch every day.
He was churning butter to make the cheese for the
yes,
for the cheeseburgers yesterday.
He was. He did a good job there. And even today's his day off. He's come in and assisted with the lunches and has hung around for the afternoon. And he's been great with the kids too, actually. I've got to say, he's a very, very astute bowls brain, Rowan Wilson. I have learnt that in the last year or so since he's been at the club, or my association with him. Been unlucky there, Harrison. He's given a lot of the kids the time of day. He was an excellent junior himself, played in the Australian side and so forth, and he's given a fair few pearls of wisdom out this week, which I think the kids have really appreciated.
Well, the rain battle between him and Tim Thorning's been one to watch too.
Yes.
Off the green.
Absolutely.
Don't worry about it on the green.
Absolutely. Quite amusing, actually.
That's number 1 to Timmy. He's drawn that nicely. In front now, 17-15, so he can go out in one end. Tim Thorning. Important for Harry to get himself to 17 as well. Give himself a chance to get out in 1.
This one's just floating a bit on him, mate. Nice weight to draw the shot. He's got him out a little bit high. I think Timmy's a little bit worried he's under the line here. He's giving it that.
Doesn't want to cut the jack over to the left of screen. Doesn't want to cut it over there. He's stuck with it.
Presents a nice inviting situation for Harrison though. It's one of those moments where you step up and play the shot here, Harry. He's just that shade high again, Nick.
Well,
stays on the green though.
It's very good.
And that's got a lot of merit.
Has done, so there might be a thought here from Harry to try to just run the jack into the pit. If he can get it down to the bottom left of screen, he's got the back.
He's got a little think about this though, doesn't he? He doesn't want to, down that backhand, if he skins it, he doesn't want to chip his own bowl out of the head here.
No, well, we did
disappear. He's probably going to be 3 down.
Well, as we say, we've been discussing risk versus reward. Timmy Thorning.
Timmy looks like he's playing down to try and sit the bowl himself here, Nick. Land the bowl for a game lie.
Wow. Lands that through, as you suggest, Michael. He was likely.
He's stayed on the green there, right on the edge.
Fine game, so the left-hand side of screen at the back of the picture, that is Tim Thorning bowl. To the right of the number 7 is the Harry Conroy bowl. What's Harry going to do here? I think just confident way, even just to trail it here.
Yeah, I think that's probably the smart play now, that his bowl's standing up too. It'll move a bit easier. He's got a little bit of weight on it. It's not a mile away. He's got to get down now. Yeah, he's got enough of it. Well played, Harrison Conroy. That's a great shot. He's just kept him in the sights too, hasn't he?
Oh,
one there is
17-16, but there was a potential for a 3 there if he'd gone all the way down and grabbed that jack.
Absolutely. He's handling these big moments well. It's his first time, I reckon, on the big stage in a big final. He's collected himself very nicely. That's length of ends probably just a shade longer than they've been playing.
Yeah, just stretching it out a little bit. 5 o'clock now, Michael. What does the green start to do as the sun goes down here at Club Sapphire?
If anything, it'll slow down a little bit. I've sort of found over the course of a day, it tends to run at its best in the earlier part of the morning. And it will, I don't know whether the tension comes out of the carpet a bit more in the evening or what it actually is, but it does tend to just slow down a little bit as the lights kick in.
Maybe as the tension comes out of yourself after a few refreshments later in the evening.
Yes, correct. A couple too many Powerades. I don't play a lot this time of the day, though, to be honest with you, Nick. And we tend to play a lot of our club games on Sundays or on weekends, and my eyes aren't the best, so I do struggle to pick up distance and so forth, especially in the twilight period.
Yeah, I've said to a few players coming down here to play events, and if it is gloomy outside and we're relying on the natural light, for those whose eyesight is perhaps not what it once was, can be a bit challenging. So
yeah, absolutely.
Tim Thorning lying 2 here, and Harry once again a couple of short bowls. Important to be up at this. Looks a fair trap.
Pretty fair here.
Well, Trav Moran had the chalk out very early. Oh, goodness me, slipped through.
Probably just still one down, I think.
So, Tim Thorning holding 1.
Haven't quite reached it here, mate. Important bowl here for Harry. He's only got 1 in there. Timmy has got a shot down under his own to shot bowl through the Harrison Conroy bowl for game. Very important he gets this one into the action.
Asking for it to hang.
He's not too bad here. Clears that. He might pull his
Gets
jack for 2. What a shot. That is an absolute cracker.
Well,
that is the shot of the game so far.
From Tim Thorning potentially having a shot to win the game, to Tim Thorning now having to preserve.
And not a real pretty scenario for him when you're looking at the front of that head there. There's no easy way down to that jack. He could potentially try and draw it around that front bowl of Harrison's. No, he's going to go pinging at his front bowl here.
Well, let's see what's going to happen. Ping, 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 ricochet, rabbit.
To the Harrison Conroy, and we have a new leader.
Wow. Harry Conroy 18, Tim Thorning 17.
Same scoreline on the girls' final, 18's final. Chanel Shakouche 18 and Zoe Davies 17.
Well, Zoe came back from a little bit. She got gapped a little bit there for a moment, but has boxed on gamely. And well, she might be coming to get Chanel Shakouche. But both finals, it's anyone's guess who is going to get there. We've got
all about holding your nerve now, isn't it, mate?
Well, we've got a great crowd watching on here in the venue. Great crowd watching on YouTube. Nick Hind and Michael Wilkes here with you. What feels like the exciting conclusion here. The deciding few ends.
The fitting conclusion, I think, mate.
Well, absolutely. It's the boys under 18 final here at the New South Wales Junior State Championships from Club Sapphire Merimbula. And that's a great start.
Looks like our girls' final is finished.
So, a big round of applause. They were shaking hands. And we'll let you know in just a moment who has been victorious. Tim Thorning, well, he goes and parks one right next to it.
If I'm looking at the body language, I'm suggesting Chanel has won. She looks quite emotional over there. She's an emotional young girl, actually, Chanel.
Yeah, I think
in the highs and the lows of it at the Nationals and a few other major events. But should that be the case, it's well deserved. She looks, yeah, I think it might be.
Well, Zoe's always smiling, so it's hard to get a gauge off her. She's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful human being, Zoe Davies.
She is, absolutely. And she'll have her time again, no doubt about that.
So, yes,
Few
final
years
scores
ahead.
are in. 21 Janelle Shakouch, 17 Zoe Davies. That's the final of the girls under 18 singles as we see Timmy Thorning
Great shot,
parks
Tim.
another one on it.
It's a nice little setup for Timmy now, isn't it? Falling in front of that jack, creating an angle on the jack.
Well,
Harrison's going to try and create some space here. We need a flick. Well, Timmy, you go to the tee? I think he will. That's the smart play. He has gone for try and draw the shot. He might end up cluttering this right up on Harrison. No.
well,
I'm surprised he didn't at least give himself a chance to land that outside bowl there, Nick, or slide down past the head, especially with the respot rule.
well, Harry's changed of tactics here.
He's played it pretty well here.
Wants to reach
Just
down.
high. What a great effort.
Well, you could see what he was looking for. Reach down, gets the split between the two oranges. He might have even squeezed in for shot.
He could well have flopped off that outside one down for shot for himself. Pretty good opportunity for Timmy to drop another one in here, get to 20.
Well,
Really lay the pressure on Harrison.
you feel if he gets to 20 shots, he's going to be hard to reel in.
Seems to have a fair line on it, mate, as he pushed it.
Just has to clear the front now. Little scrape. Well, that's going to do for 3. And for Tim Thorning, he's potentially only one end away from being crowned for the 3rd year running
Pretty fair achievement.
the under 18 boys champion. Once again, we see Tim Thorning go marching up the line almost directly in front of our commentary position here.
He's loving these short ends, isn't he?
Well, just the touch, that touch of class, the touch of a champion. And he's just looking to run the jack into the pit with his first bowl.
Yeah, that is confidence.
That's how you win a game
Ooh.
here. Well, we've seen this in lots of short formats, BPL Cup and the like. But he wanted to win that with his first bowl.
Absolutely. I'll sink the jack, turn around and shake hands. That was Robbie Perella's favourite trick many, many years ago.
Well, I think SARS would be proud of this young bloke, Tim Thorning.
Absolutely, yeah. Not a bad draw shot coming off the runner.
It's better than that.
Not a bad
That's
draw
better
shot
than
at
that.
all.
That could be the one that wins it, and you see a big fist pump. Yeah, Tim Thorning again. Been so composed throughout, finally just showing a little bit of emotion.
Looks a shade here, high here, Harrison.
And
Just
just
hanging around
travelling.
the back there. He's on the springboard himself too, Nick, so we just saw a 3 happen, so we know 3s can happen, and if he's the one on the end of the next one, he's out first.
Well, Tim Thorning, if he turns that one across, two down.
He might as well give himself a little chance here, really. Peels the jack off the line, get to the shot bowl.
Well, he,
Can create an opportunity for himself for the last bowl of the end.
well, he lands either of them. He's a chance of getting him for shot. It's pretty close here from Harry. Harry Conroy.
Quite there, I don't think. Probably swap over here, I think. Nick?
Well,
There's no need for him to
if you can,
create anything bigger on that backhand hole there. So forehand.
well, if you can touch the jack back to be resting in front of either of those at the back, it's going to make it almost impossible for Harry Conroy.
He's looking down to the positional area, which is a smart play, really. Can get down a bit further, beats the back one. There is a little chance for Harrison here. If he banks it off his own, he can trail that jack down past the Tim Thorning bowls. He won't be far off a 3 here.
So Michael Wilkes is identifying those 2 with the black dot. He pots it through the hole.
Even down past them on the outside. Working off his own front one. Yep.
That way,
down the backhand.
Michael Wilkes on the backhand here.
Looks like that's why he's setting up. Use his bowl to his own advantage. If he gets the gap, he's a chance of getting that shot bowl out and keeping the game alive.
Oh, Harry Conroy needs this to get bending now.
Just high.
Needs this to get down. It won't. And a champion becomes a legend. Timmy Thorning. Well, it's a 3-peat though as junior boys champion. Unbelievable.
Brilliant stuff. And well played, Harrison Conroy. He has come along leaps and bounds. Remember that name. I think we're seeing a bit more of Harrison in the future. Timmy's ecstatic.
And so he should be. He's got plenty of mates here and everybody's coming over to give high fives. It's been an absolutely brilliant contest. Thank you so much, Michael Wilkes, for joining me. And then the haircuts have been out. We finally got that on the footage. Well, Timmy Thorning, he's just shown the class of a champion. Michael Wilkes, your final thoughts?
What a brilliant few days, and what a privilege it is on behalf of our club to host such a magnificent event. It's there's nothing better than seeing these kids get out there and go toe to toe. It's fantastic, from right down from these younger ones up to these more mature ones like Timmy and Travis and so forth. The sport's in a great place. There's no doubt about that in New South Wales. So thanks again to everyone who travelled to Merimbula and supported the event. Hopefully we'll be back here in the next year or two to do it all again.
Well, thank you, Michael. Thank you, everybody. Well done to Harrison Conroy, the runner-up, and well done to Tim Thorning, a well-deserved champion, 3 on the trot. That's going to be all from us here from the Bowls New South Wales State Championships. Thank you for your company wherever you've been watching around Australia or around the world. On behalf of Michael Wilkes, on behalf of the entire team, my name has been Nick Hind. It's been great to have your company, and we look forward to seeing you again very, very soon.